Unacceptable performance from me. I mean, we've been here every time we go to a new casino, we get cracked the first session. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I do. The first session, I've never won. And me and Feds, we go up to the room, we come up with a new game plan, and we come down, and we get that back. But, you know, it is what it is. It happens.
Maybe it's your jersey.
No, it's not the jersey. Baker would never let me down, bro. Baker would never let me down.
All right, let's crack them. I mean, there's no real game plan, you know? It's just like...
We need good cards, bro. We need good cards.
Okay, then. So there's old D-Gen Dolt saying to his buddy, I guess it was Kyle, the guy who does his really sharp editing for him. You need good cards, bro. You need good cards. And let's face it, nobody's going to turn down good cards. Good cards are a good thing. But if you bet in such a way that you depend on good cards, then the polite word for what you are is screwed. The other word is one that Kyle these days, or another word, one that Kyle these days beeps out. He's obviously got high standards of behavior, and where once there was effing and blinding all over the place on DD's videos, now it's a little more polite. Alexa, stop. Anyway, the lad has nothing at all to be polite about, because he just took a pasting at Hard Rock Tampa. I'm assuming that all of his videos are out of order, because he seems to be able to zoom from, I know Atlantic City and Tampa are not that far apart, but it just seems, when he was talking about taking a trip to Europe, it seems a little bit odd. But anyway, it doesn't matter. All I do with these things is I just take the data set that is in the session, whatever it is, and I plug it into the algorithm here, the pattern betting algorithm, and see what comes out. And this time, surprise, pattern betting won 6,300, which is 26% of its total action. Action was 28,000. The actual value, which is what you get when you say, okay, flat betting 1 unit throughout this session, what would happen? What would happen with the left-hand bets or the first base bets? Because I don't bother with his silly multi-bets. I do include them on his tab, on his sort of like summary, but I don't touch them with pattern betting, because they're just a complete and utter waste of time. Every so often, you'll see a win from them, but it isn't often enough to make it worth the extra cash that you need, the extra action that puts you in danger, and so on. So anyway, plus 6,300 or plus 26% for good old Algie. And for DD this time, he talks about losing 9,600. No, 10,900. I don't get that. I very carefully track all his bets, stick them through the, just transcribe them, basically. I mean, there's nothing complicated about it. It's a little time consuming, but I consider it worth it, because what I can show you folks, even if there's only a handful of you watching, I can at least show you here. Once again, we have a professional loser getting his ass kicked, getting wrecked, getting ruined, getting destroyed, and pattern betting would have won if pattern betting had been saying, okay, well, I'm going to bet alongside him separately. Once upon a time, you could do that in Vegas, and I remember years ago in the Golden Nugget. I mean, it was just absolutely hilarious, because you could double down on the other guys. You'd sort of say, well, you should double down on that, and the guy would say, oh no. Well, okay, so I'll do it for you, and if you lose, I'll cover you. You can't do that sort of stuff anymore, because they are so damn paranoid about blackjack. There's no need to be. Card counting doesn't work, and yet it's bloody talked up as if it's like some kind of holy grail, the sort of like the what is it? The bronze ring, the silver bullet, the whatever. It's not, but there you have it. Anyway, I got his total losses at 7,550, which is minus 10.3% of his action. He should have lost only 9.1% of his action, but what the similarity between that number there and this one here tells you is that he's a random better, like all the other professional losers on YouTube. They just keep, I don't know, there's no plan at all. They just go, bang, why not? Let's double the bet, let's triple the bet, let's go for 5,000, let's do. So the end result of that is he had an average win of 672 and an average loss of 632. And that means an average win value over average loss value of 106.3%. That's no use. Here, pattern betting, average win 529, average loss 234, average win value over average loss value 227%. That works. That works. It's what you have to do. But you know what? I mean, all I can do is give you this information, say, okay, take it or leave it, believe it or not. And, you know, I sympathize where the professional losers stand in all of this because they cannot adopt a strategy that works. The odd thing about these guys, or one of the many odd things about them, and this is, I've lately been dealing more with Sirasani, King Sirasani, greatest of all time, the greatest blackjack player who ever played, like hell, and DD here, and they both talk about how they make a ton of money off camera, but when it comes to sticking the bloody thing on a tripod and, you know, doing all the angles and doing the edit and all the rest of it, they're up shit creek. And I find that a bit strange, don't you? I mean, it's like Dana White. Watch him play in the very brief videos that he does. You don't see any long sessions with Dana White in them, or if there are any, I haven't seen them. But you see these short bursts, and he gets murdered. He gets killed most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Most people don't get killed all the time. They probably wouldn't come back. But he talks about winning millions upon millions upon millions for weeks on end. You never see those videos. And it's the same with Sirasani and Dalton Webb. You know, it's exactly the same story. It's just... All right, guys, why don't you set up a camera and show us how you win a ton of money? But anyway, what I was trying to say was these guys obviously can't start using a strategy that works while they're filming because the casinos wouldn't like it. So I do understand their situation. It's just frustrating because the most important thing in this whole kind of concept is a bloody big bankroll. It's not more important than a really good money management progressive strategy which has, you know, sort of escapes and self-defense and all that kind of stuff built into it. It's not more important, but you can't have one without the other. You can't have a brilliant betting strategy and no money to back it, and you can't have a shitload of money and no strategy, no plan. You know, that's how these guys, the Dana Whites and the DDs and the King John Goat Sirasani, that's how they approach things, and that's why, you know, their average win over their average loss is crap. It's almost the same, and that's because they're random betting. You know, and if you don't random bet, then you get a different story. You get you get a picture like this, 529. Over 234, and you know, this is what you must do. You must play in such a way that you win more when you win than you lose when you lose. And yes, DD is right when he says you need good cards, but you don't have to rely on them. You can beat the house even when the cards are crap. The cards were crap for pattern betting this time because pattern betting has to take whatever Dayton DD, whatever he throws at him. So, you know, I mean, that's just how it is. I'm not fiddling this. I'm not faking. I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything weird. And the algorithm, sometimes sort of I look at it and I think, what is it? Is that what I would do? But the main thing about it is it's consistent. And consistency is the big deal. Don't keep changing your mind. Don't fly by the seat of your pants. Don't bet randomly. Don't bet stupidly. Don't bet recklessly. And don't count on good cards, because over time, they ain't going to happen. So anyway, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.